At the beginning of the second quarter of the Division 3 Grand Final in the Colts competition, St Joseph's and CORIO. CORIO getting the ball out of the centre. It's their turn to get attacked. Wayne Neath kicks the ball forward. Big tall number 6. It's a race on down the ground with
Hayden McKenna
showing a bit of pace. I think he ran faster than the ball, and he wasn't able to get it in. But it's picked up by taking a mark. Lachlan Burnett. He plays it wide for St Joseph's, just round in front of the commentary van, and Wayne Neath will take the ball. Big long legs of. Kicks a nice ball down towards inside 50 for CORIO. Over the top of the players. They're a bit deceived by the breeze.
Crew does well there.
Yes, he did very well there. And he kicked, Nathan Thusalar was on the ball again, number 5. Very dynamic around the ball. Looking for Dylan Lagarde. Now we're driving the ball forward as St Joseph's attempt to get inside their 50. And try and capitalise on their good start to the game. 1 minute mark of the second quarter.
So the ball goes down looking for Neath, which he just can't hold the mark there, but picks it up cleanly. Handball's out to the runner on the outside. He just gets his hand on the boot. That was a short kick there to Jared Wilson, our goal scorer from the first quarter. But he's going to go down the line, looking for number 7 in Kane O'Toole. Over his head, only to be cleaned up by a teammate. Looking for Jordan Campbell there. Just can't pick the ball up, but we know he's quick, so he's going to get there first. Does well. Goes to give the handball, kicks inside, and he's done very well there, Jordan Campbell, looking for Hayden McKenna. He's just taken his time, didn't rush it, didn't worry, and he's just picked it a pass, and now they've got a shot on goal.
So it's Hayden McKenna, number 15 for CORIO. He's he's very determined, taking his time. There's a bit of a lull in the breeze. Comes in, kicks from about 40. He likes it off the boot. Yes.
And there we go.
CORIO, 2 goals, 1-13. Trailing St Joseph's 2 goals, 5-17. Brian Coughlin.
Yes, Graham. I think if they're going to let Jordan Campbell just run around with no tag on him, that could be a bit of a detriment to the St Joey side. So be interesting to see how that holds up. Jackson Boy has gone into the ruck to take on the big fella from CORIO.
Wayne Neath.
Wayne. So
number 6.
Where's a good number that bloke does?
Same as you, Mark.
Yeah, same as my father as well.
And Digger.
That's right.
The great man.
Ball
Take it away, Poby.
So ball gets cleaned up by Campbell. He's going to go down the line to the outside 50. Kicks to McKenna again. They've been linking up well in the last few minutes. McKenna wheels around. He plays on. Goes inside. Just looking for, I believe that was Luscombe, but he can't hold the mark. Cleaned out by St Joseph's. He's done well there.
Yeah, good tickle.
So he handballs it out, looking for O'Toole. He gets the ball back, but it's not very good off the boot. Neath can't pick it up. Kurger's there, looking for his 50th goal, but can't pick the ball up. It's going to spill out of bounds for boundary throwing here, Graham.
Yes, and it's going to Nathan Kurger. I think he was looking to see if that was out on the full, but it wasn't. And the boundary umpire will throw it back in. That's southern forward pocket. St Joseph's. Hang on.
That'll be a free kick because of the third man up rule in football now. So because the players just picked it out of the ruck, it's got to hit the ground first before you can touch it. You should know that by now, guys. So Neath can line up here and try and capitalise on the St Joseph's mistake and really puts that scoreboard pressure on now.
Wayne Neath lining up, comes in, kicks the ball wide.
Didn't account for the win there.
And it goes through for a minor score. 2 goals, 2-14. CORIO trailing St Joseph's 2 goals, 5-17. 4.5 minutes gone in the second quarter of the GDFL Under-19 Division 3 Grand Final.
It's a good kick there out of full back.
He's been very dominant, good solid player at full back, and St Joseph's keeping the ball low, trying to, they realise they're kicking into a breeze, holding the man, says the umpire, pays advantage. St Joseph's take advantage, takes the bounce once, then drives it forward. But it's CORIO. Oh, he should have marked that. He was in front. Nearly took it to chest, but failed to hold on to it. St Joseph's now peak. One bounce. He goes.
That was an absolute clanger by Ollie right there. That's just He's come off the boot terribly.
Yeah, he didn't settle himself, did he?
No, not at all. He's just seemed to just run in. He had his eyes on the goals, and he was just trying to. I think he wanted the glory and to kick a goal himself, and just hasn't. And he's just down the boot, so it's going to be a boundary throw-in.
The red and white balloons of CORIO flying in the pocket as Wayne Neath gets forced his opponent under the ball, then attempts to grab, fails to do so. St Joseph's starting to defend, running the ball wide along the boundary line and over the bounce, over the line and out of bounds. In sunny conditions, windy conditions here at the St Albans Recreation Reserve or the Gordon Taith Oval. Gordon Taith is at the northern end of this ground.
Surprising how the weather is though, Graham. I was at the BFL Grand Final last week and it was the best day for footy. 1 week later, it's just gale force winds.
Yeah, it was. We spoke with Neville Whitley, the president of the GDFL, before we came through, as we came through this morning, and Neville's comment was that he would like to have played the grand final yesterday because it was such a magnificent day yesterday here in Geelong. But today, well, it's a little bit different. The sun is still shining this morning as CORIO forced the ball forward. They're running well as a trio of players that breaks the tackle, long kick towards goal, inside 50. They're running hard for the ball, but the ball beats
Hayden
McKenna over the boundary line. McKenna and Wilson are the goal kickers for CORIO, and Armstrong and Costa the goal kickers for St Joseph's.
McKenna's done well here. He's been linking up with Campbell very well, and I definitely think they're two players we're going to have to watch out in this quarter because they seem to just know each other on the ground at all times, and who knows what's going to happen with these two blokes. I think they both played, and there's a lot of players returning from last year's grand final loss. There's at least 10 players here that played in the loss last year, so it'll be really, really important to them to try and get a win today and get redemption after last year.
Ball thrown in by the boundary umpire to Wayne Neath getting a tap down. CORIO failing to capitalise on that knockdown of ball, forced towards the boundary line and over the line and out of bounds, and yet another throw-in on the eastern side of the ground, which is the side that the wind is really pushing the ball towards. As you can see, the flag's really at full blown as CORIO drive forward yet again, but St Joseph's in a good defensive mode, handballing their way out. Wayne Neath capitalises on that breakthrough and drives the ball down towards the goal for CORIO. But it'll be another throw-in, maybe more throw-ins than will be throw-outs today, I think, Cogsy.
Yes, Graham.
It's like a quarter of two halves, isn't it?
Young Harvey Carmody, the whiz they call him at St Joey's. He's doing quite a good job there in the back line for St Joey's.
The whiz, Harry Potter, the wizard. Wayne Neath, he's been a busy player around the ball, but unfortunately doesn't capitalise as much as he may be able to do so. CORIO driving forward deep, bounce beats the players and over the bound, through for a behind. So St Joseph's go to 2 goals, 6-18, leading CORIO 2 goals, 3-15 in what is becoming a very evenly matched grand final between these two sides.
The ball comes out by St Joseph's. Bit of an ugly kick off the boot, but it finds in a teammate who can just try and knock the ball forwards. St Joseph's send the ball down the line, which they've done well because a lot of CORIO players around them, but they're just linking up very well here. Switches in the middle of the ground, looking for Armstrong, who can't get his hands on it because it's knocked down by Jacob Hum, and he gets a handball out, and the ball goes back to St Joseph. Armstrong takes a bounce, sends one, gives him the don't argue, and Costa just filters the ball in to no one, and the ball will be out for another boundary throw-in.
Kevin, the boundary umpires busy. Jack Hasty, Jack Kane, Jackson Holmes Henley and Alana Brewer, the 4 boundary umpires, running the lines here at the Under-19 Grand Final, Division 3 Grand Final. Ball thrown in yet again. All umpires pick the free kick out of that. Come on, bring the ball back. It is CORIO's free kick. And Jordan Campbell will have to take the ball back, which he does. And CORIO now Look how the players are all running towards that side of the ground. So it's virtually forcing the play over that side when then they could probably look for more coming.
One thing I haven't seen yet today, which I was hoping to see, especially that instance there, one of the CORIO players could have easily picked out, got a quick switch and bring the ball down this side of the ground, but they're not looking sideways. The CORIO, both players aren't looking sideways. They're just sending it down the line. And if you can get that quick switch in, it's really going to open the game up. And I'm hoping we see that in the next half of this quarter and the next half.
The ball again running along the boundary line. I think that might become our national anthem for the day, Cogsy.
Yes, Graham, the ball is on that side of the ground. Most of the play is over there, and they've finally tagged Campbell. They've got young Mitta Whelan's taken on the job now to try and stop the dynamic CORIO Devil, Jordan Campbell.
And speaking of the Devils, they're into attack again here. Good mark.
Very good use of the body there.
Yes, very good use of the body at handballing out, looking for Kane O'Toole. Handballs back in. And calling for the ball out here is Mitchy Sykes. Fast to capitalise on that now. It's St Joseph's being able to go into attack with James Maiden taking the ball in towards goal. Rid of a scramble on here for the ball. He breaks. St Joseph's trying to break clear. Maybe a little bit of a niggle in the back there, but umpire didn't see it that way. And the ball on the ground. Players falling on top, and the umpire will... no, he's paid a free kick. So he's played a free kick in the back. Who's shooting for goal?
Just trying to see here. Looks like it could be...
Maiden, I think it is it. Number 17.
I have a number 17 down here.
47, Will Devine.
Oh, 47?
Yeah, it was Will Devine.
Will Devine, one of those players I said at the start of the day we need to watch.
And he's found his Avery Knight, his fellow teammate. And it'll be Avery lining up for St Joseph's third goal. And that he does. First goal scored at the northern end of the ground. CORIO 2-3-15. St Joseph's now 3 goals 5, which will be 23. Brian Coughlin?
Yes, no, it was very well played. That set was set up by Jackson Boy in the centre, near the centre of the ground, as he got possession and kicked it out wide and let the St Joey's players run onto it.
Interesting fact here for you, gentlemen. In last year's grand final between CORIO and Inverleigh, the first team to kick the goal at that end of the ground won the game. So have to see that happens again this year.
I think that was James Nicholson, number 80, up in the goal square. Then he kicked that. Was it, Mark?
I believe it was Avery Knight that kicked that goal.
Oh, sorry, Avery Knight.
It was Avery Knight.
Number 30.
Number 30, yeah, kicked the goal for...
Nicholson was there doing bits, but just couldn't get the ball to himself. So the ball's going to come back into the middle of the ground. CORIO have changed up their ruckman here. I believe that's Kurger in the ruck, but I could be mistaken. It is Kurger in the ruck. He does well there looking for Thusa. He just can't get the ball cleanly, though. The pressure's on. CORIO players absolutely everywhere. Number 12 there in Jarrett Wilson, the goal scorer already. Does well. Thusa's doing bits this quarter. He gets a handball out towards O'Toole. He knocks it back forward. Wilson's there again. No player can seem to get a clean possession, but CORIO finally do. Wilson goes inside. Oh, the double fister there from St Joseph's, but does well as there CORIO. He just swings on the boot. He wanted to give the handball out the back, but he just had no runners coming, and now St Joseph's will be able to filter it out and send it back down the line.
Marked outside 50 for St Joseph's, playing along that boundary road side of the ground. Into the breeze, breaking away with the ball. There is Rupert Armstrong. Armstrong running very, very quickly and cleanly along that. Now he's made the ball back into the centre line, which I think is a better idea, with now Nick Tino, number 22, trying to take control, but it's CORIO again defending very well. You can see the influence of the breeze. They're really getting a good roll with the ball as St Joseph's now go back into defence, into attack from defence, but not effectively as CORIO take the ball now. This is Jordan Campbell.
And that's what he likes. He likes to try and take players on. He didn't do it well there, but he loves to try and sell a bit of candy, fend a player off or two, off or two. He goes back to O'Toole, only to be smothered off the boot. Second effort solo there, just can't get the ball. Ball's cleaned out there by Samuel Black, who just sends it out to that far side of the ground again. That wind will just carry the ball every time. Very good handball to the wide receiver in Malden. He's going to take a couple bounces. He has a shot at goal. He's hit Nicholson in the just outside the goal square there. So big plugger Nicholson is going to have a shot on goal here for St. Joseph's. And this could be crucial. If they've kicked 2 goals up that end in this quarter and 2 goals in the first, that's really going to put the brakes on CORIO here.
So we've got Plugger Nicholson.
He's going to go back. Didn't look well off the boot there, and that's going to go out for a boundary throw-in.
That was not a kick of a full forward or a key forward line player for St. Joseph's. Maybe a wasted opportunity.
Maybe he's up the wrong end of the ground, Graham.
Yeah, well, it certainly would have been a better return down the southern end, as St. Joseph's now fighting to get the ball out of the pack, off the ground, failing to do so. CORIO defending vainly as they break clear through Reece Nicholson, number 22.
Jack Lewis is there, just filters the ball over the boundary line.
And it's in the northwest forward pocket at the Gordon Tafe end of the ground. We're at the 16.5 minute mark, 3-5-23 St. Joseph's, CORIO 2-3-15 with St. Joseph's into attack. A goal here would be critical to St. Joseph's if they're able to make that vital break with the ball being forced forward and through for a point.
Touched off the boot there.
Touched off the boot for yet another. So 3 goals, 6-24 St. Joseph's plays CORIO 2-3-15.
And you can see that there, just how the wind absolutely carried that, and so it was able for Harry Keane to take a mark there, but you could see the fullback was trying to go a lot wider, and the wind just carried that ball completely, and it could really cost CORIO here. And
look at the way that ball swung around with the prevalence of the wind as he kicked it high. Again, trying to defend vainly is CORIO, and they do so. Ball coming out here with Zach Carew being on his own. Fails to capitalise on that opportunity. Does well to pick the ball up, but it then goes to ball player. Ball is called, but the umpire's very keen to keep the ball in play and rolling. Kicked forward again by St. Joseph's through the agency of Isaac Durashuk, and again forced forward towards the St. Joseph's goal without a score. 18 minute mark. Cogsy, what are we? That's 2 minutes of time on, isn't it?
Yes, Graham. St. Joey's is starting to drop a man back behind the ball, and it's a bit difficult now for CORIO to get it out of there, the St. Joey's forward line.
The thing that really helps St. Joseph here is obviously being in a GFL setting. They've got a Division 1 side that they train with and stuff, so it really shows that they've got that extra training, extra knowledge just being in that higher league and playing with some of those great players. St. Joseph's being a very good side in the GFL, and it's really showing today just the way they're setting up and the way they're linking up and stuff. Oh. And there's Plugger Nicholson again. On the siren too here, boys.
Siren's gone.
Siren's gone. Plugger Nicholson is going to... Have they...
50 metre penalty.
They paid a 50 metre penalty there? They have.
Square him up. That's Nichols, isn't it?
That's Nichols. Yeah, Nichols. Yeah, Plugger Nichols.
Big Plugger Nichols, number 80.
So that's going to cost CORIO here big time. You don't want junk time goals like that.
Half-time in the Division 3 Grand Final between CORIO and St. Joseph's. And St. Joseph's kicking their 4th goal on the siren. At half-time, St. Joseph's 4 goals, 6-30, leading CORIO 2-3-15.